Hello, my imaginary friends. Um, it's me, Joni Rotten. Um, that's Miss Rotten, if you know. Okay, tonight I have a new American founding father for you to enjoy with me. This is Alexander Hamilton night. Cuddle up, little lambs, and let's learn about Alexander Hamilton, also known as the Little Lion. He was born January 11th, 1755, July 12th. Oh, I'm sorry, and then died on July 12th, 1804. Alexander Hamilton Jefferson may have been one smart green bean, but that old Hamilton was pretty smart too. And them two boys had some different ideas for what would make America great. Jefferson thought America should be a nation of farmers, governing their own selves. Oh, I like that idea. Hamilton thought America should be a nation of big cities and factories and businesses and banks and taxes. Well, in that shootout, old Hamilton won. Good. He won most of his shootouts. You see, that old Ham was a fighter. He'd grown up in the Caribbean, a poor orphan. But I tell you what, he didn't let that stop him. He hightailed it to America and signed right up to fight in the Revolution. And when the war was over, he kept on fighting. He fought to convince the other founding fathers that the Constitution was a good idea. And he's the one that liked the big cities, the factories, the businesses, the banks, and the taxes. And then he's like, hey, we should do this Constitution. This is good for business. Some folks didn't want a Constitution. Good for them. After that, he hauled off and created a big government bank for the whole country. He liked banks. He liked bankers. He liked rich city folks because that's what he'd become. He was an orphan. Now he said, I've seen a movie like that. My God. Well, partners, the modern day America, controlled by big government, big banks, and corporations, is the country Alexander Hamilton worked hard to shape before he died in an actual shootout. I'll let you see the page. We'll read the famous quotes together. A national debt, if not excessive, will be to us a national blessing. Those who do not industrialize become hewers of wood and haulers of water. And then he also says that Thomas Jefferson is a contemptible hypocrite. That's what he says there. How tall was he? 5'7". His political leaning, absolutely financial. Jobs held, he was a lawyer, a constitutional convention delegate, a soldier, an officer in the Continental Army and U.S. Army, a political philosopher and a writer. And he was the first U.S. Treasury Secretary. I don't think he's very good with money. I would be. Maybe he is. That's why he hangs out with the banks, right? What did he learn? Sounds like he was a poor orphan con man turned business, casino owner. Okay. And years served in the militia, 1. That was when he was doing his covert operations. Years served in the Continental Army, 6. Years served in the U.S. Army, 2. Education. He attended King's College, now Columbia University. Languages mastered, English and French. What was his stance on France? Not a fan. His hobbies included hunting, fishing, reading, writing, and math. Wealth. He made a lot of money, spent even more money, and died in debt. He was our first treasurer. His nickname, the Little Lion. It wasn't really the big lion yet. Political party. He was a Federalist, the first American political party, which he launched. Main residence, New York, New York. Land owned, 32 acres. He didn't own any sheep. What the fuck? He had no zebras or human slaves. So he had no humans, no zebras, and no sheep. His position on slavery, opposed, with capital letters. His religious faiths, Presbyterian, agnostic, and Episcopalian. His achievements. He founded the Federal Reserve Bank. Did it not just say he died in debt? He wrote more than half of the Federalist Papers. It explains the Constitution. He founded Banks of New York. He founded the New York Post. He rebuilt Columbia University. He founded the U.S. Coast Guard, or Cutters, created the first U.S. taxes and tariffs. More than any other man besides Madison designed the government of the U.S. Oh my God. Like, that's when you just have a moment where you just, when you read this differently, and you're like, and we are literally fighting for this piece of paper. How ironic. Okay. And his opinion on the Boston Tea Party, he loved it. He was a big fan. He was a big con man. That's what I think. Don't you like the background I've chosen for this series? The liar going down Fifth Avenue. Anyway, just notice the titles and words and things that are in the background when I put it up next time. Take a pause to really enjoy the picture. Good night.